In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a huge ginger snap cookie. Just kidding. It's a 100% whole grain rye sourdough bread. Let's do it! Okay, I'm here in the supermarket getting some whole grain rye flour. You can use any brand you want, just make sure it's 100% whole grain rye. Got the rye flour. Back at the kitchen, time to feed my sourdough starter. You can see in my jar, I took this out of the fridge just now. There's about maybe 25, 30 grams of sourdough starter left over in here, whatever I had left over last time. So I'm going to feed this now with my whole grain rye flour. Get out my digital scale, set it to 0, and then I'm going to add 100 grams of water. Going to need 200 grams of total sourdough starter for this recipe, so I'm going to put in 100 grams of water and then 100 grams of rye flour and mix it all together. That'll be the total feeding for your sourdough starter, and you can feed this the night before you want to make bread, or you can feed it the day of. Whatever you do, just feed it and let it rise for about 4 to 8 hours, maybe a little longer. It should double in size, and then it'll be ready to use. This is what my sourdough starter looks like after I mixed it. I'm just going to let this sit and rise until it doubles in size. And boom! We got bubbles, and this has doubled in volume. Now it is ready to use. Now that your starter's ready, get your digital scale and your mixing bowl, and we're going to mix all the ingredients together. I'm really not sure why I chose this recipe, but my first ever sourdough bread that I ever made was 100% whole grain rye, so this is kind of a throwback recipe for me. You're just going to put 350 grams of water into the mixing bowl, then follow that with 10 grams of salt. Then stir the salt into the water, just mix it all together with a spoon or with your bowl scraper. Once the salt is mixed into the water, go ahead and scoop in 200 grams of your active sourdough starter. Then add 500 grams of whole grain rye flour to all the other ingredients. And once you mix in all the rye flour, it should look like this. If your dough looks kind of like mud, you are on the right track. Basically, what you're just looking to do is to mix everything together until all the dry bits of flour are gone and you get some kind of cohesive dough. But this is not going to feel like a wheat bread or like just any kind of sourdough bread that you make out of bread flour. There's very low gluten in this, so as long as you're mixing everything together so the dry bits of flour go away, it's perfect. Next, cover up your dough with plastic wrap or a kitchen towel, and you're going to let this bulk ferment on your counter at room temperature for 3 to 4 hours. Once your dough has gone through bulk fermentation, go ahead and take the plastic wrap off and then transfer it into a Banneton basket. I like to use a round Banneton basket for this kind of rye bread. I just think it looks best in a round shape. If you don't have a Banneton basket, there's a link in the description where you can get one just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of that rye flour onto the counter, and then line the Banneton basket with flour as well. This is going to do two things. The flour is going to keep the dough from sticking to the basket, and it's also going to create kind of a cool design on the top of the bread when it bakes. If you've worked with other sourdough breads before, specifically with wheat flour, just regular bread flour, this is not going to feel at all like those breads at all. Totally different. There's barely any gluten in this rye flour, so this just doesn't hold together like any other bread. So basically you just need to form this into a circle, form it into a ball however you can with your hand. It's going to be sticky, it's going to be difficult to work with, but just form it into a ball. And this is also why it's important to have enough flour on your counter, just so the dough doesn't stick. What you want is a flour side on one side and a sticky side on the other side of the dough. Then you're just going to transfer the dough carefully with the floured side down right into the Banneton basket. All you need to do now is cover up your dough and let it rise for an hour and a half before it's ready to bake. While your dough is proofing, go ahead and preheat your oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit or around 260 C. And if you have a Dutch oven or a Challenger bread pan, go ahead and put that in the oven as well to preheat. After an hour and a half of proofing, your dough should be light to the touch and kind of puffy and ready to bake. To transfer this into your Dutch oven, you can do one of two things. You can use a pizza peel or some kind of bread peel like I'm doing, or you can move your dough to some parchment paper before you put it into the Dutch oven. Your choice. I'm going ahead and sprinkling my pizza peel with a little bit of rye flour before I transfer it, just so it doesn't stick. Then just flip the dough over carefully so it's flour side up on your pizza peel or your parchment paper. And you do not need to score this dough with a razor blade or with a dough lom. Those cracks in this 100% rye bread are going to open up really nicely in the oven, and so we don't need to score it at all. That's one of the cool things about rye. I mean, there are a bunch of cool things about rye, but that's just one of them. Then once your oven's preheated, go ahead and take the lid off of your baking vessel, your Dutch oven, or whatever you're using. Then carefully slide the bread out onto the baking surface. Then close the lid. Then bake this at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Once 20 minutes is up, it's time to remove the lid from your Dutch oven or your baking vessel. And that's going to release the steam. And here's where you can really see those cracks that have opened up while the bread was baking. With the lid off now, keep baking this at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for another 20 minutes. Then 20 minutes later, remove your bread from the oven and transfer it to a cutting board or a wire rack. One unique thing about whole grain rye breads is they really benefit from a long rest period. So go ahead and cover up, just wrap your bread with a kitchen towel and let it rest for 12 to 24 hours. I usually don't have patience for 24 hours, so I just eat it the next morning. But this will really taste a lot better if you let it rest at least overnight. Oh hey, it's the next day. Before I slice into this bread, there's a few things I want you to do. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and also hit that subscribe button if you want more videos every single week on bread, sourdough, and pizza. Okay, back to the bread. So even though this is a sourdough bread, because it's whole grain rye, this is going to be a lot denser, a lot more closed textured. This is going to be a hearty rye bread. It's not going to be open crumb. It's not going to have those big open holes. But this bread's not supposed to look like that, so it's all good. And there we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. A hearty whole grain sourdough rye bread. Some of my favorite toppings for this bread are butter with honey or cream cheese and smoked salmon, but the options are really endless. You can go sweet or savory. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Hey, I'll see you in the next one.